Here we go.
Battle Royales are kind of like the craze now. I mean, every developer out there is making one. You have Fortnite, obviously, Apex Legends, Royale, PUBG, I mean, even Roblox Battle Royale. What the heck is that? So what happens is one developer comes up with an idea for a Battle Royale style of a video game, and then all these other developers say, hey, that's a good idea, let's do that with our game. And then they develop their own Battle Royales, and they all differ in different ways. But what makes each Battle Royale something different? Well, PUBG is almost a real-life Battle Royale where regular people are jumping out of planes and picking up weapons off the ground. Fortnite obviously has the building mechanic. Apex is team-based and has special character rosters. Royale is more based on fairy tales and medieval times, and Roblox is just stupid. But what if Nintendo creates a Battle Royale? They create one based off of their own franchise characters like they already have with Smash Brothers, but they do something a little bit different that we haven't seen before. Now I kinda wanna use Apex Legends here as my template because I think Nintendo would wanna follow the guidelines of this game for the most part for a Battle Royale, because since you're picking Nintendo characters, it's kinda like picking different avatars in Apex Legends, and it kinda matches up the same. Now let's first start off by looking at the Smash Bros. Ultimate roster. Now is this game going to actually start off with over 80 characters like Smash Bros. Today? Probably not. Probably some of the most basic icons like Pikachu, Mario, Link, and Samus. But first off, why does it matter what character you pick? Well, here's why. Now, people complain a lot about Smash Bros. One character being better than the other, but nowhere near as much as weapon balancing in Battle Royales. People complain that one weapon is always better than the other, and it's just not fair if your opponent picks up a better weapon than you. So what if Nintendo was the first Battle Royale to completely eliminate this? You don't drop and look for weapons. That's not part of the gameplay. You are already equipped with everything that you need based on the character that you picked from the beginning. So to kind of give you guys an example, certain characters like Mario and Sonic would have agility. You know, since they don't really have anything super offensive, Sonic would be really fast on his feet and even have moves like his spin dash and his homing attack, and Mario would have an amazing jump height and he can move really quickly using his super cape or even other power-ups throughout the franchise like the Fire Flower. Sword characters like Link and the Fire Emblem roster would be all close combat. Now some of them would have projectiles like Link's bow, which would help them out at long range. Bigger heavyweight characters just like Gibraltar from Apex would be like Bowser, Ganondorf, and King Dedede, and they would rely on shields to protect themselves at a long distance. They would be more defensive-based characters like tanks, and whenever a character got close to them, they would absolutely wreak havoc. And then for one more example, you would have special ops characters such as the Inklings and Snake, where they would use weaponry to shoot you from a distance with either an RPG, grenade launcher, or even a sniper rifle. And just like in Apex Legends, each character will have their own specials, and this would pretty much carry over the Final Smashes from the original Super Smash Bros. Series. The Final Smashes would obviously be less cinematic, but they'd be quick one-off attacks that you can do to one character or a small team. So I just think it'd be fun to run around as your favorite Nintendo characters and fighting in a 3D Battle Royale, and especially since you'd be running on a Nintendo-themed map, which leads me into my next topic. What would a all Nintendo themed map look like? It would be absolutely amazing. I think this is the thing that I'm most excited about if this ever comes into fruition. First off, you have your POIs. These are the main important places on the map, such as the Mushroom Kingdom. You can have different Pokemon cities or different cities from Earthbound. You can have many different castles from Hyrule Castle, different Fire Emblem castles, Bowser's Castle, the Mushroom Kingdom Castle, tons of things. You could then have smaller areas, maybe like DK Jungle or some type of caves that reference Pikmin or Metroid. And could you imagine how many updates the game will get? There will be updates almost every week, adding all kinds of new places and small areas all over the map. And I'm sure everybody down in the comments below will find a billion kajillion different ideas that I didn't even think of yet. The sky's literally the limit, and you could even have things in the sky, like a space station for Star Fox or Metroid, or even a floating island such as the city of Skyloft from The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword. But the next question is, how in the world do you even get to those places? Well, here's my next point. Now, of course, there will be a closing circle in this game to confine players as the numbers go down, but one of the biggest problems about this is that players don't have enough time to loot in order to make it to the circle. But this won't be the problem for this game because there's really no looting, and there's only a little bit, which I'll get to in a second. But if you still find yourself stuck outside the ring, there's still options for you, such as vehicles, and I absolutely love vehicles in Battle Royales. They help the player to progress quicker and get to the area they need to simply by letting them drive some type of car, truck, or boat. That's why I really loved Call of Duty's Blackout, because there was vehicles all over the place so you would never find yourself stuck. There's four-wheelers, trucks, and even small cars that you can drive to the area and even use weaponry on these trucks in case you find yourself in a pinch. There are even airborne vehicles that allow you to move at even quicker speeds, such as the helicopter, and this is where Nintendo comes in. There is an extreme amount of vehicles in the Nintendo universe that Nintendo can use for this Battle Royale, and it would be so much fun to drive all these unique, wacky vehicles around the map, such as Kirby's Warp Star, maybe a vehicle from Mario Kart, maybe even a Star Fox R-Wing that you can transform into a walker as well, different horses or Epona from The Legend of Zelda, Samus's gunship, or maybe you can even ride different Pokemon throughout the Pokemon series. Now we have our characters and we have our map, but what's the point of landing at different spots all over the map if there's no looting? Well, there is technically some looting with this game. You will be able to pick up specific items all over the map, just like you can in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. These items are small little perks that help the player out in tight situations. For instance, you might get a red shell where you can hit an opponent nearby, or you might get the Super Scope where you blast somebody that's walking over the hill near you, or you might get a Pokeball where you can throw a nice Pokemon down that comes in clutch when you need it to. Maybe you need to get on top of a high building and the only way to do so is use the Super Leaf in your inventory. You'll also be able to put down assist trophies that will help you in battle. The other opponent would only have to defeat him, but it could help you get out of a sticky situation if you get third party. You would also have heals, just like in Smash Bros. From different series throughout the Nintendo universe, such as fairy bottles or even mushrooms from the Super Mario universe, and you can eat these for different various amounts of health. Or maybe mushrooms will be on the ground, it kind of as a natural overworld item that you can find for a little bit of health. There can also be care packages for special items, and they may even tie the final smash into a smash ball that comes down onto the map. Or maybe a couple comes down at a time, and players can go fight after them and they're visible on the map. Just like in the Battle Royale games of today, characters will only have a specific number of slots where they can carry items in. Now, some Battle Royales have went the extra distance by having bosses and enemies within the world of the Battle Royale, and this is exactly what Nintendo would do. There are tons of enemies that we've seen in Smash Run, and even little side enemies from Smash Tour that they could throw into this Battle Royale. You could have Goombas walking around, Guardians from The Legend of Zelda, and even giant bosses such as Rayquaza, the giant Pokemon, or even actual bosses from World of Light or Subspace Emissary. And maybe for defeating such a big boss, you get a specific reward that will help you in battle, and you might even have to team up with other players on the map to take down something this big and that's in your way. Now, one thing to think about is how the characters will get onto the actual map, and you can come up with a whole variety of different spaceships and stuff they could drop from, something from Star Fox or from Metroid, but since this is a Nintendo property, I feel like it's going to be something very basic and tied to like Smash Bros. Symbol or something, just a giant helicarrier, kind of like the one they had in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe's Mount Wario. Whether Nintendo ever decides to step out of the Smash Bros. Light and try something new with all of their Nintendo IPs, whatever it's going to be, I'm sure it's going to be great. But this is just one of the few ideas that I think would be an amazing time. I also had this idea with Splatoon, with the Splatoon Battle Royale and the whole ink mechanic. If you guys want to see that, that will be at the end card. But I have one more message for you guys before I close the video. I'm sure most of you guys heard of the COPPA situation, which is a serious deal and it might threaten some of your favorite YouTubes on the channel, and especially Nintendo YouTubers where we sit right in the middle from what's right and what's wrong. First of all, we have to set our videos for whether it's for kids or not for kids, and this is a situation that might really come to hurt Nintendo YouTubers because according to the FTC, they may look at our content and our thumbnails and think that our videos are solely made for kids. Now, if you've ever watched my channel, you'll know that I am a wholesome channel that doesn't swear or do anything that's going to harm children or families from watching me, and I'm going to stay that way. Now, am I going to focus my videos solely for kids? No. None of my videos were ever made for kids only. Lots of my topics go deep within video games that might go above some of these kids' heads, but unfortunately, I had to go through all my 200 plus videos and mark which one could be seen as a kid video, simply based on the thumbnail. And unfortunately, I had to mark a lot of stuff based on like Yoshi and Kirby, where there was like Yarn Yoshi and Yarn Kirby and stuff like that that could be mistaken for kid content, unfortunately. Thankfully, lots of the theories and lore I cover on this channel comes from Metroid or Zelda or Smash Brothers, which are titles that might appeal to a little bit of an older audience. Now, of course, there's going to be new Mario games and more Kirby games and more Yoshi games, but the thumbnails may not represent exactly what I'm talking about in that video, just to be safe, because if I do post a nice cuddly picture of Yoshi, I could get flagged for a kid video. The deadline is coming here soon, December 10th, and we can actually make a change with this topic. We can actually make a say-so and do something about it. And I have 2 links down below that I want you guys to do if you really want to support your YouTube creators. Simply go to the links. There's one on change.org where all you have to do is sign a petition. Yes, it's a petition. Is it really going to change anything? Who knows? But it is growing extremely fast. I think it just passed over 500,000 signatures, and there's also an open discussion forum for the FTC down below in the link. If you click on that, you can please leave them a nice message that's reasonable and understanding. If you just start going off, they're not going to even give your reply a second thought. Be reasonable, be smart, be ethical. That's all I ask. I'm not going to overtalk on this situation because I do think Nintendo YouTubers can make this an okay situation. I think out of all the YouTubers, we still have a pretty good, circle that we're in. We still can make our content focused for an older audience just by tweaking our thumbnails a little bit and changing exactly what we say and how we act in the video. But with that said, I really would appreciate if you guys help that out, help the cause, go down and visit the links below. I really appreciate you guys, and we're going to get through this. If this law does end up getting passed, we're just going to have to work around it, and if something very tragic happens with this channel, I will be sure to let you guys know, either on my social media or somewhere else. But I am going to continue posting videos and continue giving you guys content each and every day. Because Nintendo Land cannot fall, it will not fall. But seriously, guys, help YouTubers out. I really appreciate all of you guys and all the time you have spent with this topic. You guys have been messaging me and talking about it, and if you still want to hear more details about this and what I think with the Nintendo part of things, I will make an extra video on it later on down the road. But for now, I really appreciate you guys. Thank you for everything you do, and thank you for tuning in today. See you guys.